I get a witness? And not faint. And the Bible also tells us that the fervent, effectual prayer of a righteous man, what does it do? Availeth much. Now I'm looking for, how many in here about Facebook friend? I ain't the kind of friend I'm looking for tonight. I'm looking for somebody that'll pray with me. I'm looking for a real friend. We're going to ask you to help us sing this one, all right? Put your hands together. Da
wisdom, and intelligence, but he is a true man of values and beliefs. And he became Teacher of the Year for 2013 by the National Conference of Black Political Scientists. In 2013, he was also honored as a Leader Under 40 by the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce. He currently serves as an advisor for the College Democrats, and he is now a tenured professor here at Augustana in the Department of Political Science and Africana Studies. While a native of Baltimore, it is important to note that Dr. Whitt has planted himself here in the Quad Cities, and he is never shy when given a profound and provocative commentary on community issues that stand. Tonight he will be speaking to you this evening on the significance of civil rights. So I want you to stand up, right now, stand up. It's a great feat to come in front of all of you guys to speak. And I want you to give a huge round of applause to Dr. Christopher Whitt.
Hello, everybody. All right. It sounds like we've been having a good evening so far. We have a little less people than we usually have, but y'all are here. So that's what's important. So y'all are here and we're gonna make it happen. Now, when y'all leave here, y'all need to be sending some texts. Y'all need to call some people, stop by the house, be like you missed it. Tell them what you heard tonight. Okay, when you leave here after you've heard the music and you've heard what people have to say, and Vincent Brawley's going to give us a great sending. It's going to be a lot of amazing things coming up, but take those things with you because we have a few, but we have a strong few here tonight. Okay, so you guys spread that message throughout. So once again, I just want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak to you tonight. And I just want to kind of set the stage when we've already talked a few times about this year being the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Civil Rights Act. Now with that, being that anniversary, we need to think about the significance of that and what Dr. King was facing and what the Civil Rights Movement was facing at that time. So many times we hear people say, well, let's have a day of service in honor of Dr. King. Let's go clean up a park. Let's paint a wall. Let's do all those things. Those things are wonderful, but those aren't the things that Dr. King sacrificed for. Those aren't the things that he died for. Those aren't the things that people had water hoses turned on them for. Those aren't the things that people sacrificed their livelihoods and sacrificed their lives and their health and all types of things for. They were fighting for justice. Okay, they were fighting for equal opportunities. They were not just fighting to say, oh yes, you know, we love serving and all of those things. No, people were being treated badly. People were being marginalized. People were being treated as second-class citizens. And they were fighting to overturn that. Now, the signing of the Civil Rights Act was a step forward when it comes to trying to overcome those inequalities and ensure some justice. But it was only equipping the people with a tool. All right, it wasn't a guarantee, and we still have a long way to go, as many people have already said tonight. So with that, let's take a few moments to see what President Johnson had to say after he signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
My fellow Americans, I am about to sign into law the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Its purpose is national, not regional. Its purpose is to promote a more abiding commitment to freedom, a more constant pursuit of justice, and a deeper respect for human dignity. Let us close the springs of racial poison. Let us pray for wise and understanding hearts. Let us lay aside irrelevant differences and make our nation whole. Let us hasten that day when our unmeasured strength and our unbounded spirit will be free to do the great works ordained for this nation by the just and wise God. who is the father of us all. Thank you and good night.
United States had been compelled to try to overcome a lot of these injustices that have been put in place. When we think about civil rights, we start to think about the fact that you end up needing force. You end up needing to be deliberate in actions to try to overcome arbitrary discrimination based on religion, race, ethnicity, all of these things where people that were good in their hearts, people who were good in their minds, have been limited. They have been limited from all types of progress, limited when it comes to educational progress, limited when it comes to economic progress, when it comes to making their voices heard, when it comes to the political arena. And this was just one step. A lot of times, I'm sure there's some people in here that go to church, right? A lot of times when we're in church, we end up hearing about the fact that the kingdom's all around us, that our blessings are already set for us. But sometimes things can block our blessings. A lot of times it's ourselves. And other times there are other things that are in our way. But if we don't work to move them out of our way to get our blessings, whose fault is that? All right? So, at this point in history, people identified, we know what we could have. They knew what the contract was. These were smart people. These were our aunts, uncles, grandparents, great-grandparents. These are the people that made it possible for us to be here today. And they recognized that their blessings were being blocked. Their blessings were being blocked by racist laws in the South, by lawmakers, by business owners, by all of these people that blocked them from their full potential. And they fought, and they fought, and they sacrificed, and they weren't scared to do these things. And they pressured people, and they raised leaders up, leaders like Martin Luther King, and all the other leaders of the Civil Rights Movement. And those people were able to serve as symbols when they applied that pressure to Congress, to the president. Do you think Lyndon Johnson would have just voluntarily signed the Civil Rights Act? Do you think Congress would have pushed for this voluntarily? I mean, historically, Lyndon Johnson's my favorite president, but he wasn't crazy. He knew what he was doing when he signed the Civil Rights Act. He had no other choice. He knew that he was giving the South away for generations. Anybody ever looked at an electoral map now? Do Democrats do too well in the South? No. Okay. So Lyndon Johnson knew what he was doing, but he had to do it. He was compelled, and people had compelled him, stop blocking our blessings. Let's try to make things open up for us. All right, so once that's done, that's not the end of the road. Okay, once those blockages were passed, you still ended up having a system that was hundreds and hundreds of years in the making, where some people have been given advantage and many other people have been passed disadvantage over and over and over again. You hear about this whole idea of the underprivileged. Will you ever think about overprivileged? Well, there are lots of people who were overprivileged for a long time, and just because you put barriers out of the way, that doesn't mean that everything will be all right. So that's why we still have all of these economic barriers. We end up having these gaps in achievement when it comes to education, when it comes to wealth attainment, when it comes to employment, all of these things that we see in the United States today, as well as right here in the Quad Cities. So remember, we were given the tools. We've been given the tools of the Civil Rights Act and later the Voting Rights Act, the Fair Housing Act, many different laws. We've taken the laws off the books, but now we have to deal in reality, people. We have to look around and recognize where our blessings are being blocked. And we need to knock those barriers down. And we need to basically accept that kingdom. Accept that we're part of that kingdom. You can be religious or not be religious, but we have a constitutional kingdom, shall we say. That we are owed things. That we have a contract, and we need to make sure that that contract is lived up to. All right? And we need to remember that we are great people, all of us, regardless of your background. You're great. But especially when I'm talking to my people. I love everybody, but Lord, I love my black people. Let me tell you something. My mom taught me that it's nothing worth doing if I can't figure out a way to help my people. So everything I do, I try to figure out a way, how can this help my people? With that in mind, let's hear what Dr. King had to say about our people.
To somebody, as I said to the group last night, nobody else can do this for us. No document can do this for us. No Lincolnian Emancipation Proclamation can do this for us. No Kennedonian or Johnsonian Civil Rights Bill can do this for us. If the Negro is to be free, he must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with the pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. Don't let anybody take your manhood. Be proud of our heritage. As somebody said earlier tonight, we don't have anything to be ashamed of. Somebody told a lie one day. They couched it in language. They made everything black, ugly, and evil. Look in your dictionary and see the synonyms of the word black. There's always something degrading and low and sinister. Look at the word white. It's always something pure, high, and clean. But I want to get the language right tonight.